Yeah. All right. Well, let's do it. Hi. Welcome to this thing we're doing, called How Marvelous,
I am Max.
I'm Mikki.
and I'm JR. I mean, we've been doing this for 10 episodes now, and we're coming up on 150 episodes of Watcher's Guide. I should actually start to sound like I know what the fuck I'm doing at some point, but I don't see that happening.
There's no need for that.
No.
I mean, right now, I feel like at the very least, maybe I've got like an adorable amateur thing going on if somebody happens across this. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, how you doing?
I'm sunburnt as hell. I may fade in and out in terms of inexplicability because I've been sitting in the sun and roasting all day.
That sounds
awesome. Any particular reason or just...
There was a beach.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nah.
I
Cool.
wish it were not muggy as hell here.
Yeah.
It rained.
I forget Canada has those.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. You take what you can.
Don't be mean to Canada. Jerk.
I love Canada. I joke about Canada, but I love Canada.
Yeah,
Canada's
you
great.
guys are still not allowed in. It doesn't matter how much you sweep up. The border's closed.
Well then fuck Canada. Like, that was the only thing I was hoping for. I was trying to lay groundwork for like a November escape, just in case. But now, no. You all... Fuck the Canuck. Anyway. I guess we should do what we're here to do. What If? Volume 1, Number 10, published August 1978. What if Jane Foster had found the hammer of Thor? It is written by Don Glutt, penciled by Rich Hoberg, inked by Dave Hunt, colored by Carl Gafford, lettered by Carol Lay, and edited by Roy Thomas and Jim Shooter. The short version is, instead of Donald Blake finding the hammer, it is Jane Foster, as the name implies. And then things play out almost exactly like they do in the normal Marvel universe. And then at a certain point, Odin's just like, well, this isn't going to work. Like, Don Blake was supposed to find the hammer, not you. I don't know who the fuck you are. And,
listen, the hammer says whoever holds. Apparently, though, there's a big old caveat on that it has to be this particular guy I chose and didn't tell. Specifically. Yeah. Or the horse-face guy. Or the guy from the 80s with the mullet. But not Jane Foster.
No. But, I mean, at this point in time, Odin is apparently working through some shit, because no one with a vagina. Actually, no, even in the actual Jane Foster Thor stuff, still no one with a vagina.
Oh, no,
he was not happy about that.
Super pissed.
Yeah,
I read that, I don't know, before the walls fell, and he's still like, no, fuck that. Absolutely not. Get the Odin son over here, and meanwhile Odin son's over there having an absolutely complete meltdown. Which I really liked Jane Foster as Thor, and I liked what they were doing there, and I liked Thor with the shit he was going through. Yeah.
And I liked kind of his redemptive arc in the course of things, leading up to War of the Realms. But anyway, it's basically Odin's just pissed, but there's not a lot he can do. So Sif goes to Earth and finds Don Blake, and they fall in love. And then at the end of this, Odin's just like, well, I mean, you got to give the hammer back. And she's like, oh, okay. So she gives it back to the Odin son, and he becomes Thor again. And then she's just like, well, I guess I'll fuck off back to Earth. And Odin's like, whoa. Well, let's have a chat. And she winds up marrying Odin. So basically, everything remains largely the same, except Thor has boobs for a while. And then Jane Foster marries Odin.
Like, it's really all over the goddamn place. And by the end of it, she's got like a Loki-esque outfit on.
Yeah.
This was the most compressed goddamn comic we have read in this series yet, and some of the early stuff is compressed as hell, and this is just every page is a completely different story and has very little, if any, connection to the previous page.
Yeah. Well, and what's odd is Freya appeared relatively early on in Marvel Comics. It's not like Freya hadn't shown up at that point.
Yeah.
She
appeared in Journey into Mystery number 92. So, like, apparently what's left out of this is Odin just being like, hey, so listen, I met someone, and you got to get the Odin fuck out of here.
I just like the potential conversation that clearly happened off screen, where he went to Thor and said, "So I'm kicking your mother out, and I'm moving in with your girlfriend."
Yeah. That's the thing I always love, like, implied conversations or implied consequences, and this is definitely one of them. Like the ancient Norse divorce going on in the background of everything happening here, with Odin just being like, look, we've had thousands of years and it was good, but to everything there is a season. Turn and
turn around and walk your ass out.
Yeah. And of course, like, if you're, I feel like if you're Freya, you can object, of course, but at a certain point, it is the Allfather still. Like, at a certain point, he's either going to change his mind or you're going to do what he says. And you don't have that much control over it, but whatever. Anyway. Thoughts?
So in the middle here is a section after she gets, like, she goes to Asgard and is like, "Hi, I'm Thor, I guess. What's up?" And they're like, "Go away." And Odin banishes back to Earth. And after that, like, on Earth, she's kicking ass. Like,
yeah,
it's only frame by frame that we really get to see it. Like,
yeah,
I guess, fighting Viper isn't exactly the biggest thing you could do, but, like, Viper
or
Cobra, sorry. And but, like,
to be fair, name a Thor villain that isn't Loki.
I mean, Absorbing Man.
Well, Absorbing Man.
Yeah. Absorbing Man, you say.
Originally.
Yeah. I like Absorbing Man.
Destroyer.
Have you read the and this is, I hope this doesn't devolve into just have you read, but the Saladin Ahmed Black Bolt. Absorbing Man's awesome in that. He's fantastic. It's an actual character. Yeah, no, that story's cool. Volume 1's really good.
There is, if you had asked me like a year ago to, like, bet money on whether or not I would ever give a shit about the Absorbing Man as like an actual character and not just like, duh, I'm here to smash stuff, I would have said no.
Yeah.
And I would have lost that bet.
Yeah.
Because Saladin Ahmed's Black Bolt is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But anyway, so
I'm sorry, I can't take a villain serious who doesn't wear a shirt or shoes.
He wears shoes.
He does not wear shoes.
He wears shoes. They're big, clunky brown things.
Every time I see him, he's got no shoes on, and he's wearing like those weird prison slacks.
Right, the prison pants.
Even.
But yeah, he tends to wear shoes. It's just shirts he's not a big fan of, and he has a weird eggy head. Yeah, like I've always liked the idea of the Absorbing Man in terms of, you know, if this guy had a brain in his head, he'd be fucking dangerous.
Yeah.
But, like, most of the time, he's just too stupid to do anything. But, yeah, like, it is, Black Bolt, he actually has some poignancy to him, and I really like it.
I'll check that out.
Yeah, you should. I mean, check it out anyway, because it's good. But, like, yeah,
so yeah, I don't know. I like this section in the middle here where it's like she's on Earth kicking ass, and clearly handling all the Thor-related shit on Earth without much problems. And I don't know. That's cool. Like they didn't shy away from that. Like there's only the one frame of her meeting the Avengers where everybody's like ogling her. But, like, other than that...
And that's where I feel like this comic really fell down. They focus so much on the kind of Asgardian shenanigans and legal proceedings and such. And all I want to see is, like, I don't know, her smacking the shit out of, Ant-Man when he smacks Janet.
Yeah.
Verily, motherfucker. Bam!
Yeah, no, I agree. This issue is full of missed opportunities, and like I said, mostly things play out pretty much like that. It's a whole lot of like she fights a bunch of villains. You're familiar with them. It goes down basically like it did before.
I'm very surprised that they went the full original canon for Thor's first appearance, which is stupid fucking, Korganites or whatever the hell?
Yeah, it's, what the fuck are they?
None of them have New Zealand accents, so I am very pissed off.
Well, yeah, that too. But, yeah, it's, fuck. I forget what they are. They're, the Rockmen, and I feel like we spend a ton of time on that could have been spent doing literally anything else. Like, if Uatu had just been like, I mean, you know what happened, except this time it's Jane instead of fucking... And, okay, one thing I will say, the thing that pisses me off is the fact that, like, of all the things she could have done with the walking stick, she turns it into a hairbrush.
Yeah,
and I'm just like,
no, I forgot about that.
No.
Like an umbrella. How about that? No, walking stick.
I mean, look, I get that you want to create a reason for her to have something that she would have had with her at all times. But say she hurt her leg on the trip to Scandinavia, and now she has to use a walking stick, and boom, you're done. All she's got to do is fake a limp, and not even a bad one. Like,
right? I think there's an even easier answer. You simply make it her purse, so that at some point you can have her wallop someone through a fucking wall with her purse. Just Wabam!
Nice.
That would be fantastic.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
so simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be good.
Like, she just stops a purse snatcher or like a shoplifter or something by just going, no! And the guy goes, "Burn!"
Oh, no. Dude tries to steal it and just fucking drops to the ground.
Oh, yeah,
They
that'd
can't
be rad
move it.
too.
I don't know. I like the idea of, like, completely just, like, leaving a purse snatcher paralyzed for life with, like, brain damage after putting him through a wall. Just, like, whatever the modern day equivalent of one of those Star Trek beeping wheelchairs is, have them in that where they're just sitting there like, beep.
If it's behavior that is acceptable when Batman does it, you know it's completely fine for, like, Thor to pull it off.
And I mean, Thor is like this remnant. Like, you know, Batman at least was like raised in polite society, so he knows not to do shit, but he does it anyway. But like Thor, it's just like he's this big aggro Norseman. Like, so any version of him, it's basically just like, put him through a wall. Who gives a shit? He shouldn't have broken the social contract. And you're just like, yeah, okay.
Jesus, fuck Thor. I mean, you guys used to have slaves, didn't you? Oh, verily. No, shut your fucking mouth right now. Do not continue.
I'm telling you, this is not the time. Don't do it.
I'd like to take a moment to point to something I do enjoy in this issue, and it's on page 46. There's just this little head of the Watcher as Odin and Jane Foster are married, and it looks like he is coming.
Oh yeah.
His eyes are closed for some reason, and he's narrating about it, and he's just like,
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, I have to see this now.
It's the last page.
yeah.
Yeah, give me one sec.
I mean, someone's having
God.
the time of their life.
I feel like that's the kind of thing that may be a coloring error, but yeah, that totally makes it look like he's just like, yeah.
It looks like Brando right after he took a really satisfying shit.
Brando, like toward the end of his life, thinking back on Last Tango in Paris, just like, yeah, no, thank you,
Brando,
no, thank you, Mr. Brando.
Brando, anytime he thinks about a Big Mac.
Yeah.
So anyway,
it's a really good drawing.
I don't know how to get us back on track. No, the upshot, I think, like I've said previously, these early issues are so often about reinforcing the main continuity that they're afraid to really take anything too divergent. Eventually we'll get cooler things like Rogue becoming Thor and stuff like that. But with this, it's kind of just like, yeah, we'll explore other shit, but eventually, I mean, we've got to get back to the status quo because all of this shit is ordained, you know?
Yeah.
And that's really frustrating because I think there's a lot of concepts in these early issues that could be really interesting if they were explored properly, but they aren't.
Yeah, and
So.
they won't be for decades.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Was like, it's disappointing that they don't do any of that exploration in this issue, decades ago. But it is nice, at least, that they are going to do it eventually. And the product is good when it happens. Granted, time is eras and context and everything, but like,
right.
I still like the idea. So
Yeah,
it just sucks that
this
is, as you said, this is a series of things that happened to get us back to where Donald Blake has the hammer, right? But like, that's nothing else happens except. I guess the only measurable change is that she ends up married to Odin, which is just sort of gross.
Yeah,
it's
just beyond weird.
I don't see that relationship lasting. I mean, it's the kind of thing that it's like, there were so many things that I mean, like in a couple issues time, what if Rick Jones had become the Hulk? And that's an interesting idea that if it were developed properly could be an interesting, like, not only an interesting insight into Rick Jones, but also like the mechanics of what makes a Hulk. And it's not. And that's really annoying.
Right? Like that should be a mini series. Rick Jones : Hulk.
Right.
It could be amazing. Right.
But it's not. Of course, we'll get into that. But right now there's a whole lot of these early issues. Like, I haven't read them for a long time. This is my first time reading them in some of these in several years. 10, 15, like a while.
It's going to be painful for a while.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And it's just like, I started reading What If in the late 80s. And, it was better. It wasn't, it and the Age of Apocalypse were the things that really got me into, like, alternative universe stuff. Regardless of quality. And,
you don't ask about quality with that stuff.
Yeah. So it's frustrating. So yeah, not a stupendous issue, but
no.
Well, I mean, I guess last point is this is the first one of these that definitely feels like it's a selling product. You know how on Watchers we talk about how Team Up and 2-in-1 and those books are like, wouldn't you like to read more about this character? Their book is available. Go get it. Yeah. And its sales are flagging, so we're putting them in 2-in-1 this week or whatever. This is the first one of these that really kind of feels like that. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't need to do that for fucking Thor. Thor is your highest selling book of, like, that you've had. It's one of the most successful books out there. Why are you don't need to pump sales into Thor. Thor is fine. What are we doing here? Go wild.
Was it at this time?
I don't know. Probably not.
Because Simonson hadn't started yet.
I'm making shit up. It's not hurting. Or maybe it was. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it, but
I don't think it was hurting at this time at all. That wasn't until the 80s.
Well, I was going to say, after Simonson left, Thor kind of started to flag. But I don't know.
Anyway.
Not for a while. Yeah.
So I don't know why, unless sales were flagging and I didn't do my research and I'm completely talking out my ass, which 100% possible. I want that on the record.
I mostly am. So
yeah. Then I don't know why you don't take a bigger swing with this, unless you absolutely do need to try to pump up sales. So
yeah, I suspect that when this series was pitched, there was a run of, say, a dozen, maybe 24 original stories before they figured out what the fuck they were doing. Yeah. The next one's very much in the same vein. And, I think that they're just burning through that while they find what the series actually is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good excuse.
I mean, I don't know if excuse is the right word. I mean, it doesn't make it better. Like,
no.
it's not like no, it's okay because they're just sucking while they figure it out. But yeah, I don't know. Join us next time when we will be talking about what if the Fantastic Four were the original Marvel bullpen, an issue that would never be done now, or really at any time after this. So, tune in.
Or don't.
You know, the way you do on podcasts, tuning it. Like, yeah. Anyway, bye.
Bye.
Bye.